Good morning, Ms. Eagles Nobe. Good morning, Ms. Powe. Good morning, Mr. Mkize. And good morning to you too, General. Please switch on.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chair.
Before you start, Ms. Eagles Nobe, I just want to touch on something with the General. I hope it will be quite brief. General, can you please go to file 4, page 54?
Of the statement.
Sorry?
Of the statement.
Yes, it's your statement.
Yes.
Page 54, yes.
Yeah, you said file 4.
Did I say statement? Oh, no, I meant bank statement. Bank statement, sorry.
File 4.
File 4, it's your bank statement. Please bear with me, General. General, please go to 44.
Page 44.
Yes, of your statement. And do you see that on the 18th of September, that's the date, there was actually an agreement between you and Mr. Madlanga that you had in excess of 50,000 rand. Do you see that? In credit.
On page 44.
Yes.
September, yes.
Yes, you see that.
Where there is a credit of
balance, far right-hand side.
Yeah.
Yes. You see that you had a balance in excess of 50,000 rand.
Of 75,000 rand.
Sorry?
At the end of the page.
Yes, it's in excess of 50,000 rand, General. Do you see it?
Yes.
You see it, yes. Now, add to that, go right to the beginning of the statement. You will see there that it's indicated at the top, just before the heading, your transactions. You'll see that you had an overdraft limit of 44,000 rand. Do you see that?
Page 43, General.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
So that basically means that you had far more than you required to finance your the repairs to your son's car. That is, if you add what was in your own account in credit and also the overdraft facility that you had with the bank. You see that?
Yeah. My understanding here is the balance is inclusive of overdraft.
No. That's the credit. The 50,000 plus is the credit. That's your own money, General.
Yes. Okay.
So basically, all on your own, you had 94,000 rand available to you. You accept that? Or rather, in excess of 94,000 rand available to you. The 50 plus the 44, that gives you more than 94,000 rand. Do you accept that?
I'm trying to understand before I can respond.
Yeah.
Because even now, when I check into my account, it will show something over 200,000, but it will show when you go to the machine to say overdraft is how much, deducting from the whole amount, then the remainder is what is yours. The overdraft is money which you are paying monthly. That means you are owing that money.
No, General, how it works is, and it must be the same with your bank as well.
Yeah.
As the money goes down, the money in credit, as it goes down, and if you have an overdraft facility, the balance will then begin once you go beyond your own money. That is the money in credit. It will now start showing the balance as minus whatever amount by which you've gone beyond your own money. And at that stage, you are beginning to eat into the credit facility. Then you have negative balance, minus X amount, minus Y amount, and so on, until you are not able to transact once you hit, in your case, 44,000 rand. That's how it works on my understanding, General.
All right, I hear you.
So I go back to my question. You had available to you, inclusive of the overdraft facility, an amount in excess of 94,000 rand, General.
Yes.
Now, let's go to, which file is this? Let's go to file 2, page 35 of file 2.
35.
35 of file 2. Now, you see you've highlighted the credit by Mr. Madlanga, the credit of 70,000 rand into your son's account. Do you see that? It's the very first highlight out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of the 5 highlights you've made on that page, the very first one, it shows the deposit of 70,000 rand by Mr. Madlanga. Do you see that?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. And after that deposit, the amount is then 81,000. So there's the 70
Yes.
which is added to your son's balance, and the balance becomes 81,000. Now,
Yes.
look just above that. The amount reflected just above that credit on the balance side is 11,364 rand. That's the money your son had in credit in his own account. Do you see that?
Yes.
So the effect of that, if I add your son's amount to the 94 plus, is that between the two of you, you actually had in excess of 105,000 rand between the two of you. In excess of 105,000 rand. Do you see that?
That's correct.
And now, let's go back to the quotation. The quotation was only for 52,000 rand. Remember?
Yes.
And even if we take it higher, take it to the amount that you say your son was told verbally by whoever had quoted to the insurer, that quotation was 55,000 rand based on what you told us yesterday, correct?
That's correct.
Now you have between the two of you 105,000, in excess of actually 105,000 rand. And there's a quotation at the most of 55,000 rand. You basically didn't need Mr. Matlala's money, correct?
Incorrect.
Why so?
As I indicated yesterday, I had a plan to build a wall back home and also at my house. And also we were renovating my dad's tombstone in March. That was in my plan. So hence I needed extra money to deal with that, knowing that in December, I will be having in the excess of 130 to 150,000, which I can easily pay back the money which I could have loaned. So that was my reasoning behind all those.
But you were only to do that, if I remember correctly from yesterday, around March of the following year.
Yes, I indicated that March was the tombstone, and also on the 20th, I was going. Remember that week I was on week going to Limpopo, where we were doing the Thanksgiving ceremony with my brothers and sisters.
Now you keep piling on, General. You only told us about putting up fences here in Johannesburg, at your residence here in Johannesburg, and also at your residence in Limpopo. That's all you told us. Now suddenly we hear about a tombstone. Now suddenly we also hear about a Thanksgiving function with your siblings. Why is it that now that I'm saying, let me finish. Why is it that you start doing that piling on once I say that between you and your son, you actually comfortably had an amount in excess of 105,000 rand? Why do you keep adding and adding and adding? It appears to me that you are trying by all means to indicate to us that you were really in need of money.
Can I go to my statement?
Yes, please. Maybe you'll correct me. I may just as well be mistaken as to what justification you gave for wanting the money.
Page 48, paragraph
Three, sorry, so 3 or 4.8? 3?
48,
48,
of
thank you.
81, paragraph 156.
Yes, Chairman.
The Thanksgiving ceremony took place at my homestead in Sanin on the 20th of September 2024. That was not a party to celebrate my promotion. It was funded by Madlanga. And in page,
So, sorry, which paragraph did you read from?
paragraph 156.
Yes. Now, General, you yourself say in so many ways that this was not funded by Mr. Makala, so you did not need Mr. Makala's money for this, so you cannot use this Thanksgiving function as justification for you wanting a loan from Mr. Makala. So you've discounted it yourself. Please take me. It sounded like you wanted to take me elsewhere. Please do so.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain what the commissioner was saying. I'm keeping on adding and adding.
I'm continuing to say so,
Yeah,
Commissioner. Let me tell you why I'm continuing to say so. That's because I do not understand this to read as justification for you wanting money to Mr. Makala. But now when I engage you and say, between you and your son, you had in excess of 105,000 rand, and therefore you did not need money from Mr. Makala. You say you did. And one of the reasons you give is what's this one? Is it that's the Thanksgiving? You refer to the Thanksgiving function. And I say, in your own words, you discount that as a basis for wanting money from Mr. Makala. So I repeat when I say you are now piling on reason after reason. I repeat my statement. It stands.
I disagree. I'm trying to explain to the commission that it's not piling. It's something which was planned, which was there, which that particular money you are referring to as collective mine, which was on balance. Some of the things I was going to use for it is that. That was my explanation, to show that I'm not piling things as I've been questioned. It's something which I mentioned it went to happen. I also indicated that from the 16th, I was supposed to be on leave, and I left on the 18th for Limpopo because I was having that ceremony on the 20th. And even if when I was questioned with the chats, I was explaining. When I received this, I was in Kimberley doing that and that. On the 18th, I met with Nkosi and gave him even my claims to go and take them there because I was leaving. So I'm trying to demonstrate that I'm not piling up something. It's something which was there. It's something which I took into cognizance when I took the loan. By the way, on my statement, when I read it here, as we were discussing with Mr. Madlanga, I indicated what I encountered. My child nearly lost the life of accident and what, and now I'm busy. When going back home, I'll be doing this and that to cover some money to assist him. And he offered to say, I can loan you the money. So that is how it happened. And to reach and what I borrowed initially from my side, it was what was told to my son to say it can reach 55. But on his advice to say, hey, things fluctuate, it can go higher and so forth. It's better you take the higher one. As you saying, you'll be having the money whatsoever. So there is nothing I'm piling up or adding up which was not there. It was there. And even yesterday when I was responding to the advocate, I said, maybe it can feel like it was harsh to say, I decide how I spend my money. Because I have seen that I've got some commitments which I planned myself, and then this can help me do that. And in a short space of time, in a 3 months' time, I'll be getting my bonus. I can settle everything and be square. So the decision was based solely on that.
From what you've said a few questions back, so I basically understand you to say that you used money from your account for the Thanksgiving on the 20th of September. That's my understanding.
Yeah, also it was planned also to...
No, can you be direct, please, General? I understood you to say that you used money out of your account for the Thanksgiving ceremony, which was on the 20th of September 2024. Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, some of the money.
How much did you use out of that account?
I think I used 14,000 to buy beverages.
Which you took out of that account? Which you took out of the account, from what you've been saying?
Yeah, but I'm mistaken.
Because, and it has to be out of that account because I'm talking to you about money that was in that account when I'm engaging you at the level of the 105 plus, or rather, in excess of 105,000 rand, which you had between you and your son. It's in that context that you mentioned the Thanksgiving and that you would use part of your money for the Thanksgiving on the 20th of September 2024. So the money must indeed have come out of your account. So
Yes.
that 14,000 came out of your account.
Yes.
Please show me where. Please show me the debit of 14,000 rand in your account. And remember, we are talking between the 18th and the 20th, because the 18th is when you ask for the loan. Please show me the debit. I can even go back and say even the 14th, when you first broached the subject of the loan. Show me the 14,000 rand debit. It can't be anywhere. It must be at page 44.
Yeah. On page 44, it's not showing, or since it came from my credit account.
Your credit account.
Yes.
Which one is it now? And you say we will see that debit of 14,000 rand in
Yeah,
that
they are
account.
linked, but here it is not showing on it.
But you are saying we will see that debit of 14,000 rand
Yes.
in preparation for the
Yes.
for the
Yes, I can-
Thanksgiving ceremony.
Yes. Give me my phone.
We can do that exercise over the tea break, General. So I think we can step off that for now. Now, the other functions or ceremonies. Oh no. You putting up the wall, the two walls in Johannesburg, or rather in Mogale City, is it? Am I correct? And then in Limpopo. That was to be in March of the following year.
Yes.
So the Thanksgiving is on the 20th of September 2024. The other two, March 2025, I'm sorry. Now, I just do not understand this idea that you need the loan when you yourself say that in December you are going to get in excess of 100,000 rand of your own money? Why would you not have used that money for putting up the wall in 2025, in March of 2025? Make me understand that.
Yeah, as I indicated yesterday, if I used that money, I was going to be left with no money.
No, General. Not when between you and your son you have in excess of 105,000 rand. That's not correct. That's not factoring your overdraft. That's not factoring your own overdraft. And within a couple of months, you're going to be, or rather, you're going to receive in excess of 100,000 rand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand this idea.
I still repeat, Commissioner, that if I used that money by that time, let's say 55, but the cost all in all is 65. After calculating yesterday, and we got the list. My son calculated.
But you did not know that at the time. When you took the loan, you did not know that it would add up to 65. So let's forget about that. What you knew was that at the most,
it's 55.
It was
yes, it's 55.
55 years.
It's 55,000.
Yes.
Yeah, traveling home with my family of 6 with different cars also is money. So
when now?
Traveling home during that week of the 20th of September is also money. It's petrol, it's toll gates. I indicated it is Intanin. And also, my thinking that time was, I will be having money, the car need to be fixed so that he have something to drive to work. And then I don't want to use my money, which I'm having, but I get an offer, and then which I'll pay at the end of December. I found it convenient for me. That was my thinking. So, yes, and I still stand by that thinking. Other person can think otherwise, but that is what I thought.
General, what I've done now is to subtract the 55,000 rand, which you knew to be the cost for the repairs to your son's car. I've just subtracted that from 105. That leaves you with 50,000 rand. No matter how much it costs to travel to Limpopo, you still had enough funds, General. So I just do not understand you. Let me perhaps, so as to avoid moving in circles, that is the two of us, let me suggest this to you. So you chose the convenience in quotation marks, of borrowing money from a person that you knew at the time, and you admitted this yesterday when my colleagues engaged you, a person that you knew at the time to be alleged to be seriously implicated in criminality. So you chose the convenience of instead of using in excess of 50,000 rand that you had or that was available to you. So that is what you chose. What's your response to that suggestion?
Yeah, my response is this. As I'm repeating, to say I saw it convenient for me to use the loan and repay it and use the other monies for what I have intended to, irrespective of somebody says it's convenient or not. That was my thinking.
General.
May I finish?
All right.
Yeah,
I'm very sorry. I am very, very sorry, General.
That was my thinking, that I will be able to pay it sooner, and this was easier for me. So we've got different people, different households who decide issues simpler. But the worst thing which I am taking home now is the one that I agreed to say I decided to take a loan from a seriously implicated person. So that is the only thing I'm taking home. My decisions.
So by taking home, you're saying you accept that part.
I
at
accept
least,
that point,
that part.
even though I take this serious implication with a pinch, because nobody was charged or any police brought charges against anybody. It was just allegations. But I take that home. But I'm not sorry for my decision. I took a decision as a man who was thinking that in that particular way that time. And I believe I've got the right to think like that as long as it is right.
I have serious problems with that, General.
Yes.
You have said you chose an option that was easier. And you chose that option because you knew that you would pay back soon. And thirdly, you say that these were allegations without Mr. Madlanga having been charged. You seem to forget something very important, General, which is that, one, you are a police officer. And two, not just a police officer, but a very senior one, a general. Yes, Major General, but still, in terms of how you are addressed, all generals from Major General to the full general, the commissioner, all of you are referred to as general. So you are not just a police officer, you are a general. You cannot seriously tell us that for you, you would have chosen this easier option because you knew you would pay soon, and also that these were just allegations in a situation where there had been no criminal charges. That cannot lie in the mouth of a very senior police officer, a general. Your comment?
Yeah, I think I also commented yesterday about it when it was said to me in a similar vein that I'm not condoning it or condoning police officers to be involved with people who are allegedly to be involved. But we live in a country, in a society where we'll have people having allegations and still been serving or doing something whom we still have to interact with. I also gave example of activists who have been convicted and out. I can even quote even ministers who are serving with conviction and so forth. So I don't know, does this apply only to me in the eye of the commission? It cannot be taken solemnly to say Shibiri, whereas it is the society where we live in. People are every day having allegations. Some, they cannot be even be substantiated and whatsoever. And if a person is not charged as an accused, it becomes more difficult also to adjudicate as a person to say, who do you associate or not? But it's your choice to associate with a person. I repeated that as long as you are not doing something wrong or unlawful with that particular person, that is my stance, irrespective of how the commission feels.
So you're basically saying, no matter the nature of allegations of criminality, for you, that means nothing for as long as the person concerned has not been charged. Is that what you are telling us? It matters not that you are a police officer and a general to boot.
I'm saying I cannot associate with criminal doings.
Criminal what?
The criminal act with any individual. I cannot. But association or interaction, sometimes it's unavoidable. For example, I gave example to say, yesterday I was labeled as assisting a friend who have bankrolled me and so forth. I said I was assisting a complainant. A complainant can come from all the spheres, irrespective of the status. So I'm just reiterating the same thing I said yesterday. But I hear the feeling and the feeling out there at home to say the police cannot be seen as taking side of the criminals. Taking side, I will say, is when you become involved with them or protecting them from not the law not taking its taking place or taking against those particular perpetrators who have committed a crime, and of which I've done none of those. The only thing where it is been pointed now and then is that I borrowed money from a person who had an allegation or cloud hanging around his head. And I indicated I had a long relationship with him without knowing or without him having such or whatever. So I don't want to rehash that because I'll be told I should have maybe profiled him. And profiling a person also there must be a reasonable cause. You must have suspicion of so sort. And I agreed to say, after hearing this, I should have checked, and I said I done some of the checkings and start moving away gradually. But the issue of the loan already happened. But as it may, it is in the hands of the commission to decide on the matter to say, indeed, it is genuine what I'm saying, or I'm trying to reason myself out, or it was incorrect or unjust behavior of which I have done. So I will live with that.
General, you see, what I'm engaging you on is the very question whether this was a loan at all. Yesterday, on the two main occasions when I engaged you, I ended each one of those by suggesting to you that based on what I was engaging you on, it seemed to me that there was no loan at all. So that's the difficulty I have. So even on what I've just engaged you on, I say to you, you have available to you and your son an amount that's in excess of 105,000 rand. And my question is, why do you not use it? You say that that's because you were going to pay for a Thanksgiving function in September of 2024 and put up 2 walls in March of the following year. But thing is, as at the time that you borrow the money, if we subtract from what was available to you and your son, you are left with an amount in excess of 50,000 rand. And you have volunteered to this commission that in December, you were going to get in excess of 100,000 rand. So the walls in March cannot be a factor to you borrowing money in September of 2024 when you have available to you, after we've taken out the expenses for the repairs, you have available to you 50,000 rand. So I conclude this engagement with a similar suggestion as the two that I made yesterday, which is that it seems to me that this could not possibly have been a loan because you simply did not need the money. That's my suggestion, and I will end it there. But of course, you are entitled to respond.
Yeah. I hear what the commission is saying, and I took note also of yesterday, which was inclusive of the quotation. and which I explained, and we provided even the OT number of outsurance to get all the details to say it exists. And I take your understanding of the quotation, not even though it's not a quotation, it's estimate quotation. And that you don't take that before the quotation, the estimate was issued, a verbal one was issued. So those things will be covered. But as people, if we were thinking alike, I don't think maybe everything will be going well in the world. So as people, we think differently. But if the respects which made the commission to believe it was not a loan, I'm fine. We will take that on the other level. But I had my reasons, and I gave my reasons why I chose to take the loan, preparing for whatever, and it was within my reach to pay, and I paid, and it remained a loan which I paid. So whatever the commission is conceding to, or is considering, if it's based on the facts which is applicable to everyone, is fine. But I still believe I was within my right to think what I've thought and done what I've done, and I'm prepared to live with that, and whatever consequence, and going forward, I'm still saying I've done the right thing. As a man who was supposed to think in that particular time, I thought like that.
Thank you, General. Let me just make this observation. Whatever I may have said about the JBI quotation, and also what you were told orally, which I think you referred to as something from outsurance, whatever I may have said about that has now been superseded. But what I've raised with you, which is, and I've actually used that higher amount, the outsurance amount or the oral amount, I've used that higher amount in my calculations that I've been engaging you on. So whatever I may have said yesterday about the quotations does not affect my engagement with you this morning. You still had 50,000 Rand, in excess of 50,000 Rand available to you after the 55,000 had been factored. I will leave it at that. I just want to say to you that it's not that important that there may be this issue around the 55 being oral or from outsurance and so on. I've actually factored it in the calculations I've been engaging you on. Any further comment?
No comment.
Thank
Just
you.
to highlight that there was no outsurance amount.
I may have misheard you then.
Yeah,
you said oral, and didn't you?
Yeah, the oral was the same.
Yes.
JBL, which after seeing
all right.
the vehicle, they issued that one. There was nothing.
I misheard. It doesn't really matter. Point is, we're both talking about the 55,000 Rand, and I factored that in my calculations when engaging you this morning.
Yeah,
that's the important thing. And you say you have no comments on that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Just one point from me to add to what Chair said. Good morning, General.
Good morning.
Remember yesterday you said the car was not repaired immediately. It was repaired over a period of 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
Yes. And it goes to emphasize the Chair's point that you did not need a loan of 70,000 Rands immediately, because 12 days later, remember we're talking 18 September, 12 days later, you and your son received your September salaries, and your prospects improved considerably from what your position was on the 12th of September. And we know from the statement that some of the parts were purchased in October. I think it was the 5th, if not the 10th of October. Some of the parts to repair the vehicle were purchased in October. So there really was no urgent need for a loan from Mr. Madlanga, because by the time you had to pay for the repairs and you had to pay for purchase of the new parts, you actually had your September salary, which made your position even better than what it was on the date when the loan was given. Because when you needed to pay for what you needed to pay for, it was a lot higher, and I did the maths, and some of it I got it wrong as I was assisting the chair. But by the time the end of September came, your position was a lot better, and it continued to be even better in October, considerably better in November. And even when you sold some of your cattle, you then had the additional 20,000. Remember, that's still within the 3-month window. So your prospects were a lot better. And sitting here, we don't see why you needed a loan from Mr. Madlanga in the first place, because there was no urgent need for a loan from Mr. Madlanga. So I just wanted to add that to what Chair has said, and you can comment if you wish to do so. Then I will yield to the evidence leaders.
Yeah. It seems as if the money needed was only for the cow. There's no life, there's no food, there's no whatever which is done in the households, or my son is staying in the flat, is paying certain amount and so forth. But I will leave it there. That is your thought, but there were other commitments. And again, in order for you to build up for something which you are intending to do, which you just costing, you need to save more and fasten your belt so that when time comes, you can be able to execute what you aimed. So that was my intention. I'm not taking away whatever your analogy and checking on this, the whole setup on your own way. Yes, but my thinking will remain my thinking, and I stand by what I've done and decided.
Yes, General, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner.
I was going to ask you just one question about the WhatsApp chats, but two things, now I have to start with two things that have come from your exchange with the chair. And you said something now, and it's a repeat of something that you said yesterday, the same things that you said yesterday, and I just want to make sure that I understand, on the one that I understand your position. You said to the chair, in the engagement with the chair, you asked, I think rhetorically, you asked the question, these concerns about mixing with people who have serious allegations of criminal conduct against them, is this something that applies to just me, Shibiri, and not to others? You remember that? I'm paraphrasing. You remember you said something like that? Do you remember, General, that you said something like that?
No.
You don't? Okay. The record will reflect that you did, and I'm going to ask you the question anyway on the basis that that's what you said. Do you consider that perceptions, do you accept that perceptions matter? That a senior official, and not just for a senior official, any police officer for that matter, but maybe especially so for a senior officer who is also head of organized crime in the country, do you consider that do you accept that perceptions matter when the public sees you keeping the company and friendship of people who in the public space are accused of serious misconduct? Yes, they haven't been charged. They haven't been sentenced, but serious allegations are made against them of criminal conduct. Do you accept that it matters to what people think about that police officer, and in fact, faith in the SAPS as a whole? Do you accept that as a fair proposition?
Yeah, I accept, depending on the level of coming together or whatever happens. I accept.
You accept.
Yeah, because I accept the perception out there. If ever they see you, for example, in assisting your statement, is seeing the police van always parking at a place where they say drugs have been sold, it becomes otherwise. Yeah, so the perception will be the police who are going there, they are corrupt, they are going to collect. Yes, it is like that.
Okay.
But do we need to brush everyone with the same brush?
Do you? I'm not sure what you're answering. Maybe let me repeat my question, because I'm not talking about a police van that is parked. I'm talking about if the public becomes aware that you are friends. And when I say you, I mean every police officer. But in this case, we are talking, the specific facts we are discussing are you. Where the public becomes aware, as it has now become aware through your evidence, that you are close friends with Mr. Madlanga, that you have received the benefit of a loan, what you say was a loan, from him. The public now knows that you actually do provide assistance. You justify it, well, this is assistance that I would have given to any member of the public. But knowing the facts, as you have testified to, at least that you have considered about your relationship with him, do you accept that in the eyes of the public, there may be an issue for concern, and it is something that must concern you because it impacts on what people think about not you, not just you, but also the SEPs? And I thought this issue, you had discussed it and considered with Commissioner Khumalo yesterday when he spoke about the families who come now know that you're friends with Madlanga. I thought you accepted that you understand how that could create a problem in the eye of the public. But this morning when you speak to the chair, you walk it back. You say, well, what does it mean? Does it mean just because accusations are made against them, we must not associate with them? So I want to understand what your position is, in fact, because I thought I understood it.
Yeah, I tried to give an example so that we take this thing on perspective of how it is, because it's not similar.
Yeah, General, I don't mean to be rude. I am going to ask you not to use an example because I've asked you a very direct question. And I think it's, if your position is no, it's unfair and unreasonable for the public to form a view because of my association with Madlanga against the SAPs and against me, that is your answer. I just want to clarify it because I thought yesterday I understood it, that you appreciated the impact of that association, the negative, potentially negative impact of that association. But this morning you seem to speak differently. So I'm just seeking clarification. So please do not answer me with an example because it will simply make me repeat the question.
Yeah, I think it's what I explained to Commissioner Khumalo yesterday, to say it will be wrong for the public to take a view based on one incident and then combine them to be one thing. I even gave example of this comes from long way and criminal actions happened later. And now I'm still in that one, even though I'm for where I'm standing now, because of what happened, because of what he involved in, we no longer friends or whatever. But I explained this, exactly that question to the commissioner, to say this relation, it was long, and this, now you got evidence now of what unfolded. And who is this person? What did it happen? And when did I become to see it and so forth? So I indicated yesterday it will be unfair because it will be unfair in a realistic world where we're living with people.
Okay. I think I understand your answer.
Yes.
Secondly, again, that comes from your engagement with the chair. It's a repeat of what you said yesterday. And this was from an engagement with me yesterday about the assistance that you have given to Mr. Madlanga, and that, in my view, it's because you were his person. And you answered this way yesterday, and you repeated it this morning to say, well, you assist citizens and who come to you asking for assistance, and Mr. Madlanga was no different in this case. Can I just ask this, which I think was lost on you yesterday in our engagement? The citizens that you are referring to, when they come and seek assistance from you, do you let them pick the police officer that must assist them, as Mr. Madlanga did when he picked that he wants Mr. Nkosi to be the one that goes to assist? Is that how you operate? That when I come to you and I say to you, I have this problem, but I don't want anyone else but that police officer, is that what you do in the normal course?
Not necessarily what we do, but it happens that the complainants will come and say, we don't want this particular investigator because of 1, 2, 3. We want our case to be dealt by this one because he was doing better than this one. This one is giving us feedback. Or we want our case to be removed from the district to province, or from the station to head office. I can give an example of one case in Paarl, whereby they demanded that the case must be brought to head office under cold case investigation, which will resort under me. So it happens that somebody can suggest, but it's not always where it will happen. Sometimes we can say we are having another versatile, experienced investigator who we think can do better. And again, sometimes it depends on the resources. And again, it depends on the type of a case, what needs to be done thereafter. So when you need to do the 252A, it's not everybody who knows, but those who are at organized crime knows better because they are doing it on a daily basis. So I was speaking from that perspective, but not to say everyone who comes must choose his own and whatsoever. But people always will report to somebody they know, being friends or not friends or whatsoever. Some, they just know there is a General Shibiri. Somebody from KZN can phone me and say, I need assistance on this, knowing I will still refer them to KZN, or go to KZN, sit down with the team from KZN, do the investigation plan, sit with the family and indicate this is what we are going to do going from there. So as I was saying, I think I was doing my legal duty. It was in that premise.
Did Mr. Madlanga tell you why he wanted Mr. Nkosi, Sergeant Nkosi, to be the one that goes with him? Because that's really my question. It is, you giving many examples that has nothing to do with the kind of question that I'm asking. You testified yesterday that you involved Sergeant Nkosi because Mr. Madlanga, after you said to him, go to the police station, Mr. Madlanga said, I want Nkosi to go with me. And then you told Nkosi to go with him. That's why I'm asking you, do members of the public who have access to you get the same treatment where they ask you to give them somebody specific, like Mr. Madlanga did, and then you oblige them? Now, in the long explanation you have given or answer, you say, yeah, members will come and say, I don't want that one for reason A, B, C, D. Did Mr. Madlanga say to you, I want Nkosi to go with me to go and lay this complaint as you advise about this Kaula matter? Here are my reasons for wanting Nkosi.
Yeah, I think I said this more than 4 times, that Madlanga actually said, if Nkosi is not busy, he will appreciate if he assists him. And I said, I will phone Nkosi and hear from him, then he will call him if he's ready. And that is what happened.
So he didn't give you a reason why Nkosi should go with him?
No, he didn't give me instruction as the commissioner is alluding to. He didn't give me instruction.
No, I'm not saying instruction general. Please listen to my question. Did he give you a reason why he wants Sergeant Nkosi to be the one that goes with him? After you said to him, go to the police station. When he says to you, if Nkosi is not busy, I want him to go with me, which you then actioned, did he tell you why he wanted Nkosi to be the one that goes with him?
No, I indicated due to the proximity of him and Nkosi. I indicated that yesterday.
Okay, so he wanted Nkosi, according to you, he wanted Nkosi to go with him because they are friends. That's what you mean by proximity?
I think I've answered that because I'll keep on changing my answers now based on the questions.
All right. Then let me go to what would have been my question, and that relates to the WhatsApp messages. When you end up, in fact, specifically, it's still to do with how this loan comes about. Your testimony is that you last saw Mr. Madlanga in 2023, and then you see him, I think, on the 14th at General Sibia's function. Now, before you meet him at General Sibia in September 2024, had you had a discussion with him about attending that function?
No.
You hadn't? Had
No.
you? Okay.
I didn't even know about it. I knew about it I think on the 13th. It was Friday.
Okay.
Because I came back from China on the 12th. And on that Friday, I was so tired, then I was sleeping.
Yes.
Hence, other documents were brought home to be signed. So I received a call from the general indicating that there will be a engagement party of his son. If I could, he will appreciate if I come. I said I will see if I'm not still yet tired because I'm still feeling tired. And during the day on Saturday, I spoke to Nkosi, who seems to be there by the general assisting, asking if I'm coming. And I said, yeah, I think I'll come, but I'll decide in the afternoon. And then in the afternoon, that is when I decided. And then I requested my wife so that we can go and make a tent there. That is on the way I had a puncture, and then I again phoned Nkosi and the other people to assist. They couldn't assist. I phoned Absa Direct to come and assist me.
Okay. So Sergeant Nkosi knew that you were going to be attending this function.
I take it so because he was with the general and he asked me if I was coming. So
Clearly he knew that you're coming.
Yeah, it is very difficult to say because he asked me if I'm coming telephonically when he was there with the general. I don't know what they talked with the general.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but the point I'm trying to establish with you is, even on the basis that he asked you if you're coming, you would have answered that, yes, I will be there.
I answered to say I'm coming.
Yes, that's all I'm seeking to clarify at this point. And in that discussion, whatever discussion you had with Sergeant Nkosi about him asking you, are you coming? And you said you're coming, you would be attending the party. Did you have any discussion or mention of Mr. Madlanga attending that function?
No.
Not at all?
No, he asked me when I was there if Madlanga was there.
Exactly where I'm going. If you would turn to page 190 and you have seen that text. Sorry, it's 5.3.
It will be volume
Page
3.
5.3, the big one. The big file. Yes. Page 190.
Page 5.3.
5.3, page 190.
190.
If you look, and you're referring to chat 3, if you look at that chat 3, you ask General Sergeant Nkosi, rather, You at 8:03 p.m. You ask him, "Where are you?" You see where I'm reading,
Yes.
okay? And then he responds to you. He says, 30 minutes, I'm there. You see that?
Yes.
And then you say to him, "Night Rider." And then at chat 6, he says to you, "Cat has arrived there." And then you say at 7, "I don't see him." So why would he tell you if there hadn't been any discussion or any mention between you and him? Remember, this is Madlanga that you have not seen in a year. And so I don't know why Mr. Nkosi would think you're interested in seeing him if you haven't seen him in a year, and that's subject to your explanation. If you're speaking about a person you haven't seen in a year, you happen to come to the same party, you haven't discussed it with Sergeant Nkosi, why would he tell you that Cat has arrived? And I would like to hear you before I make a proposition to you.
Yeah.
And then your answer is, "I don't see him."
Yeah. My understanding here of this chat is you was asking me if Cat has arrived, irrespective of how this English was framed. Remember, I asked, "Where are you?" He said 30 minutes away, because I was expecting to get him there. Because I was stuck with a vehicle and I was still fixing, and he said he went out, he's coming back, and then when I arrived there, I didn't see him. And I said Night Rider because of checking time, meaning you likes going in the evenings, because I mean it's 8. If we expect 9, 10 to leave, then you'll be arriving at your own time. So this one, I took it as if he's saying Cat has arrived there, or as an answer, because I'm already there. Then maybe if he's arrived, I will be able to respond to say, yes, he's arrived, he's there.
So you
that is how I took it.
So you say this was a question, not him telling you that Cat is there?
Yes, that is my understanding.
Okay, all right. It's not a question, General. He's reporting to you that Cat has arrived there. That's what he's telling you. Cat has arrived there. He's telling you that Cat is there. And my question is, why would he tell you if there had not been a discussion between you and him about Mr. Madlanga attending the same function? Why would he tell you that Cat is there, has arrived?
Unless Kosi comes and confirm what you are saying, I'll take it. For now, I understand what I'm asking this thing.
Yes. I must say, when he testified and he was asked about this question, he's never said about this. He didn't say it was a question to you. You're saying it was a question. He didn't say it was a question. But here's my proposition about this exchange to you. It is that when you say you hadn't seen Mr. Madlanga or not spoken to him since 2023 up to that evening, these are my propositions, and I may be wrong. It's for you to say to me, you're wrong. This is in fact the correct story. That in fact you knew he was going to be attending. Mr. Madlanga was going to be attending that evening. That's what I want to propose to you, because it doesn't make sense that someone you haven't seen in a year, according to you, the very night you see him, you ask and he gives you a loan. You agree to get a loan, or he offers you a loan and you accept it. It just doesn't make sense that things would have happened that way. So the proposition I'm making to you, and I'm saying this WhatsApp exchange supports or accords with the proposition that I'm making to you, that you knew Mr. Madlanga was going to be there that evening, either because you've spoken to him or you've spoken to Sergeant Nkosi. You knew he was going to be there. You expected him to be there. Sergeant Nkosi knew that you know he's going to be there. That's why he reports to you. As you ask him, where are you? He tells you Cat is there already. There had been a discussion, therefore, between you and Sergeant Nkosi about Mr. Madlanga arriving that evening. And when you saw Mr. Madlanga that evening, it wasn't a surprise that he was there. You expected he would be there. And this conversation about a loan, if it happened that evening, it's something that was going to happen because you had spoken to Mr. Madlanga and you expected him to be there that night. It's no coincidence to you that you all happened to be there that evening. Do you want to comment?
Yeah, I have serious problem with these propositions, actually. Because it seems whatever somebody is saying, it doesn't make sense, always. The sense is what is being thought from the commission side. And then the fiction is made and made a proposition. It's problematic with me in this sense. I said I saw Madlanga physically for the first time on the 14th. I didn't say we never communicated telephonically. I did even indicate in September when going to China, he asked me where I'm traveling. I was so amazed to say, how do you know I'm traveling? And then that is when I knew he's got contract with SAPS because he said he's doing that. And also I did indicate that at the beginning of the year, he indicated that he had, I'm back in the office, he was there around our office, you could have passed there. So what I'm saying is, I didn't know that Cat is invited, he will be there. I was invited by the general to be there. I have spoken to Nkosi earlier on asking me if I'm coming, I said I'm coming. And I had a puncher with a buggy where I needed assistance and I had to ask for upside direct to assist me. I arrived there around past 7 to 8. And when I arrived, I indicated when you enter, there is a sitting place which is made of glass where these people who were engaging were seated. At the corner there, like a pool, a place to sit. That is where the generals were seated. I went to the left. In the middle is a swimming pool, and there is a small place that other side. I went to the left, greeted the DNC, and then I passed the where the kids were sitting, went to the generals, greeted them. And then I went and sat there with two couples who were speaking in Sikos. Then later, General Fani came to sit there. And then late in the evening, Advocate Chauga came and sat with us. So that is why I take this as a question asking me if he has arrived there. Because he knew he was arriving. Not to say I knew and it was not a surprise. And he was not seated where I have seated. Where I have seated were limited people, maybe 6. And he came from that other side where the other generals were seated with generals to coming this side, to come and greet. And then I don't know if he saw me or whatsoever, but he came and greeted and we stood, we talked. And I never said in that talk, I proposed a loan. We talked about the accident and how I'm going to get some monies to do that because I don't have enough. I'm going to do this and that and that. And he offered. So to the proposition that I knew that he will be there as if there was a pre-planned meeting with him, I was going to see him. This is what I'm insinuating, this is why I'm saying I've got problem with these propositions, but I think it is your work which allows you to do that because you are probing, you want to know the facts, but nevertheless what we are explaining, it seems not to be taken true.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioners. General, this is not even my topic, but I'm going to insert myself. If you go to your witness statement, and you can blame the commissioners for this, not me. If you go to your witness statement, which is file 1, page 48, In fact, if we can start on page 47 at paragraph 151. Do you have it?
Paragraph 15.
1 of your statement on page 47.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm there.
You say approximately 4 days later, on 18 September 2024, Mr. Madlanga contacted me to inquire whether I had managed to raise the required funds. I informed him that I had not yet succeeded and that I was traveling to Limpopo at the time. We then agreed he would advance me a personal loan by depositing the money directly into my son's account, as my son was responsible for arranging the vehicle repairs in Gauteng. Go to the next page, page 48. Paragraph 156. This is where you deny the allegation about the Thanksgiving. You say, the Thanksgiving ceremony took place at my homestead in Zanin on 20 September 2024. It was not a party to celebrate my promotion and it was not funded by Mr. Madlanga. And that is in response to the allegation made by witness C that during the interrogation of Mr. Madlanga, he had made a link between the two of you and had suggested that he had funded the Thanksgiving, or that he had funded some celebration for you. Do you recall that?
Yes, actually, he said Madlanga deposited 80,000 to my account, which I got angry and sent it back.
Correct.
Yes.
Now go to witness C's statement, which is in file 3, item 85. Yes, item 85. So you'll see it's labeled file 3. It should be the last item actually of that file. It starts 85, but you want to go to page 362. File 3. Do you have it?
No, I'm 881.
Page 362.
362.
Yes, it should be the last. It's probably like 4 pages from the bottom of that. I think somebody needs to assist the general, please.
I'm getting there. I'm at 365.
362,
Yes.
paragraph 116. This is witness C's statement. It says, General Shibiri, Mr. Madlanga told us that he gave General Shibiri 80,000 rand. The money was sent to him in celebration of his promotion to the rank of Major General. The funds were paid through a company called Black AK Trading. He explained that General Shibiri reversed the money back to him and requested that it be paid to him in cash in order to limit a paper trail. Now, if you go to his file 4, and we are going to page 60, I think it's page 50, from page 63. It is CJC 97. It's page 63. It is, you see the covering page, it has between IO and Major General Shibiri.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is part of the recording of the interview between witness C and Mr. Madlanga in May of 2025. And if we go to, sorry, it's the one before that. My apologies. It's on page 60, not 63. Page 60. Do you have it?
60 of...
Yeah, 60 of the same document, same bundle. The document starts on page 58. So just go to 58.
60 of the big one. Eh?
No, that same one, file
The
4.
same one.
File 4.
File 4.
Go to page 58. Can somebody assist the general, please? File 4, page 58.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now, this is the recording of the interview that was held with Mr. Madlanga when he was arrested in May of 2025. And I won't read the whole thing, but if you look at line 10, you'll see indicated on the side, it's line 10. Mr. Madlanga says DNC is Sabia, and then the unknown mail says, who did he send? Mr. Madlanga, General Shibiri. So this conversation relates to Mr. Madlanga speaking about you. If you look at the last line, unknown female General Shibiri is calling you direct and you call each other. And then on the next page, Mr. Madlanga says, yes, he called me even Friday. And we know that that relates to, you recall that there was a WhatsApp call between you and Mr. Madlanga, or you attempted to call him, or actually did get hold of him a few days before he was arrested. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you go to the unknown female, yes, Mr. Madlanga. Then after, I did not pick up. Unknown male 2, yes. Unknown female, for what? Mr. Madlanga, he is also used to me a lot. Unknown female 2. And I saw an account number, a business account number going to him. Then if you go a few lines just above line 20, where it says unknown male, do you put money for him? Mr. Madlanga, no, I give him cash. Then the unknown male, you did not. And the unknown female says, what was the account? Mr. Madlanga, I remember one day when he was, that one I am not denying. I am not saying I am not. The unknown male, yes, no, that is fine. He says, Mr. Madlanga, he was celebrating that thing when he was general. Then on the next page, unknown female, unknown male 2, yes, Mr. Madlanga. And then he went to somewhere in Zanin. It was not his account. Unknown male, yes, Mr. Madlanga. He gave me an account to say he wants to buy alcohol. I think I gave him something like 80 or 100. I do not remember. Now, Mr. Madlanga, and I'm going to put this proposition to you. At this point, Mr. Madlanga, I'm suggesting to you is referring to the same 70,000 rand that you are referring to. Sorry, Mr. Madlanga.
Do you mean Mr. Madlanga or General Shibiri?
I'm saying that Mr. Madlanga in this conversation is referring to the same 70,000 rand General Shibiri that you are referring to. He's not certain of the number. He's saying it was 80,000 or 100,000. And he says that he wanted to buy alcohol. And you recall that you had referred earlier on to you needed money for beverages. And you were talking about a celebration that you were going to at home in Zanin. Do you recall that? And you are denying that it was for the celebration. And you say the celebration was 20 September 2024. Correct?
Yes.
And the payment was made to your son of the 70,000 rand. When was that? 18 of September 2024.
Yes.
So while Mr. Madlanga might have the amount incorrect here, referring it to 80 or 100,000, he is saying that it is not into your account, and we know it wasn't your account, correct? The money was not paid into your account, it was paid into your son's account.
But where he's saying he sent it to my account, I refuse.
No, he says it was not his account, and then he went to somewhere in Zanin. It is not his account. Do you see? On page 61, Mr. Madlanga.
Yeah, but where you started at point 10, he said at some point I sent to him.
Where? No, he's saying at the top, the money that he sent, it wasn't to your account. It is not his account. Then the unknown male says, yes, he says, Mr. Matlala, he gave me an account to say he wants to buy alcohol. I think I gave him something like 80 or 100,000. Now, he's telling you at the top, he says he went to somewhere in Zanin. Is that not consistent with your evidence that the call was when you were on your way to Limpopo? Was that not your evidence?
Yes, but before I answer that, I'm taking you back where you started. Because now you choose what you want to ask on
Okay.
and then don't want to correlate with everything which was said.
No, please let me know where I've gotten it wrong.
No, I'm not saying you got it wrong.
Then please
Where I
clarify.
started with Shibiri,
Yes.
where he say he did send to him.
Where, General, which page are you
10,
on?
Paragraph 10,
On page?
page 59, where we started.
Okay. Yes. I'm at 59.
Yeah, he there under paragraph 10, where he said, who did you send? He said to General Shibiri.
Yes, he's referring to something else there. That's why I just wanted to show you your name to show that this conversation is about you. If you go to the start of it, he says, unknown male. So you saying this matter of Northwest, you do not know who it is. You know that they are involved. And he's speaking about the DNC sending someone in respect of that aspect.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with your loan. The loan issue starts at the bottom where the unknown female says, General Shibiri is calling you direct and you call each other. And then on the next page, Matlala says, yes, he called me even Friday. And then he says, that is someone who he's also used to me a lot, meaning you know each other. And then the unknown male says, I saw an account number, a business account number going to him. In other words, there's money going to him. That is what the unknown male says. Mr. Matlala says him sending to you. In other words, he's talking about the money coming back, you paying the money back. Do you see that? Because at that stage, we only know that part because they are referring to Mr. Matlala's information. They don't have your son's bank statement at that stage. As the chair indicated to you yesterday, when we get the information, we only see the payment that you made. We don't even know what it relates to. So we're wondering why you paying Mr. Matlala, right? It's you that volunteers the information in response to an allegation that Mr. Matlala made that he funded a celebration. And you saying it wasn't a celebration, it was a loan, and that explains the payment back into his account. And then you tell us about the flip side of the transaction, i.e. he paid the money into my son's account because my son's vehicle needed to be fixed. Mr. Matlala never refers, I'm suggesting to you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, as insofar as we know, do you confirm that there is only one transaction of any of the companies of Mr. Matlala or Mr. Matlala himself transferring money into an account connected to you? And by that I mean your son's account. There's only one such transaction you're aware of, correct?
Yes.
And that transaction is for the 70,000 Rand.
Yes.
And do you agree with me that when he is interviewed on page 61, he's not sure of the amount? He says, I think I gave him something like 80 or 100,000.
How can you not be aware of the money you transferred from your account to another account?
Okay.
And again, the other thing is Mr. Matlala knew that the account is for my son. And I gave him that account in order for him to transfer the money to that account. And I indicated it's my son and the names were given to him. And for that reason. And you could see that the money was used for what? Even though there is some disbelief, but even though it is shown, which your investigator is going to follow up. But the truth is, which cannot be probable, is that Matlala didn't know to whom did he put the account to. He testified at the ad hoc to say the money was given to my son, deposited to my son, and again, it was a loan to me. is what he said with his mouth. So I don't know these other things that he gave me 80,000, I become angry, immediately send it back. I paid the money after 3 months.
Yes, you see, General, the thing is, when Mr. Madlanga gives the version before ad hoc about the loan, that is after everything has now, the cat is out of the bag. This is contemporaneous as we're going to find. It is May 2025. He's been arrested, right? There is no 6 July statement by General Mkwanazi yet. Everything is not open yet. He's being interviewed. He wants the witness, he wants these investigators to know that he is connected. And he's telling them, one of the people I'm connected to is General Shibiri. I'm used to him. I gave him 80,000 or 100,000. He's being interrogated or interviewed while he's being arrested. He doesn't know the exact amount like you know with the benefit of the documentation. So when he says 80,000 or 100,000, what he is certain of is that it was not your account, and what he is certain of is that you were going somewhere to in Zanin. That is what he was saying, which is consistent with your evidence, except you now classify it as a loan. And I'm not suggesting to you that is something for the commissioners to decide as to whether it was a loan or not. But I'm saying the person that's advancing the loan to you when he's interrogated or interviewed by the investigating officers, he does not classify it as a loan. He classifies it as a loan long after. And he does that probably for your benefit because you've now classified it as a loan after the fact. That's all that I am putting to you. Do you want to comment on that?
When he said that, I didn't yet testify. I didn't know what I am going to say. What I can tell you, what I like about what you are saying he's been interrogated. And you know what is interrogation. And again, I'm responding because it's the questions before the commission in respect of the commission, but I don't respect this. I don't respect this is in front of me whereby the insinuation somebody was interrogated for hours and being recorded by a junior member, which is not in terms of the law or any other procedure. And I don't know how was this Fabri told to say or whatever happened. So I don't want to venture into that. I'll continue answering you. But I'm answering you to say, yes, Madlanga knew about me going to Zanin because we met 2 days before we went. Other than that, he knew I was going to go to Zanin before even I tell him, because when we talked, he talked about that. But he maybe deliberately, he misled them to say he paid how much and whatsoever because he was being coerced. But the fact of the matter, he knew that he paid the money to my son. And he had the name of my son. He's having the slip, which he sent the proof of payment. So what you are insinuating to say he didn't know, he might have forgotten whatsoever, it's not there. He knows where the money went. He knows what was the money for. And you have seen what the money was used for. So, but because you are pushing your own narrative, you will continue with that line of questioning.
Well, General, I'm not pushing a narrative. All that I am putting to you is what Mr. Madlanga says. Now, you may say that it was done under duress or whatever. The point is what he confirms, which is consistent with your version, is that you went somewhere in Zanin. He also speaks about the issue of the celebration. It's either another coincidence that the payment is made 2 days before your celebration on the 20th of September. He also knows about the celebration. Is that not more consistent with you getting the money for that purpose as opposed to for the vehicle for your son to repair his vehicle?
But really, let me use the right word. Really, it doesn't make sense because there is money which showed in my account or my account of my son, money showing paying for parts and whatsoever. And you still insist, I don't know for what reason. Unless Madlanga comes here, you said Madlanga comes here, you asked him, he told you so. But I told you, I'm not going to take this. You can take it as a way or how you wish, but I'm not taking this as evidence.
I accept
and
that, General.
I'm not going to take this as evidence, something which is not taken proper, coerced or whatever, or choreographed and so forth to suit the narrative of whoever. But I gave you a bank statement showing Madlanga depositing money to my son, which I gave to him. He didn't have it. So if I wanted to use it because I was in Zanin, I could have given him my account or my sister's account to access the money and use the money there. So I didn't do that, and you have seen where the money went. But the insistence is those propositions which is in this house. That the narrative, nevertheless, how it must be pushed in a certain direction.
Well, General, we are trying to do a fact-finding here. So we go with what we see and we put the proposition for you. And of course, you're entitled to say it's an unfair proposition or you disagree with the proposition. But we are entitled to put this to you because it's a version that is here by Mr. Madlanga. That is it. That's all that I'm saying to you, is that there are certain things that are consistent with your evidence that you had given, and there are certain things that are not. That's all that I'm saying to you.
Yeah, if I can tell you that the investigating officer, they knew that I had a celebration and whatever, they know about everything. And that is why I'm saying I'm going to sit here and listen to choreographed things by the investigators and whoever to suit a certain narrative. So I deny everything here. And actually, I don't want to respond to this. I respond because I respect the commission.
Thank you, General.
Let us adjourn and resume at 11:30.